cutie pies. I am Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is the Young and the Restless edition. All right, today is Tuesday, November the 21st, 2023. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this one a solid 6. It was a solid 6 for me. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Yeah, it was a solid 6. Let's get started with Diane and Jack. So we see Diane and Jack, they're talking about the family and how, last year um, Ashley was at war with Diane, and then this year she's Mrs. Jack Abbott. And so she's just happy. Everything, worked out for her, and they found love again. And, they have their son and their grandson, and they're just happy, right? So then we see where after that, Ashley comes in and she lets them know that she wants to invite Tucker over for a drink, him and Devon, because she wants to work on their relationship. And Jack is like, why does it have to be on Thanksgiving? Because I guess this is Thanksgiving. This is Thursday for them. It's Thanksgiving. And I don't know. Has Jack always acted as though he's the father figure? Because it's almost like they have to get permission from him to do anything. Like, why is this even up to debate on if Jack approves this or not? If Ashley goes and has a drink with Tucker and invites Devon, like, why is that up to his approval? I'm just confused on this. But y'all tell me, because some of y'all have been watching this way longer than I ever have. So he doesn't really agree with that, and Diane says, I don't know about that either. And Ashley said, you're supposed to be my ally in this. And she says, but Tucker's just so dangerous, and this Thanksgiving we want it to be all about family. I said, well, last Thanksgiving Ashley and them had to suck it up at the holidays and have Diane there so y'all could suck it up and have Tucker over for a drink. Like, literally, she wants to have one drink with him just so he and Devon can have some kind of talk at Thanksgiving, and then he leaves and they enjoy Thanksgiving with their family. And he says, Diana and Jack say they just want it to be all about family and they don't want any drama. I should say, all right, then I'll just have it at the club, like at the athletic club, because I mean, it is what it is. I'm gonna do this anyway, so like, I'm not asking for permission. I'm telling you something I'm going to do. But anyway, that was it with them, y'all. So then, of course, Jack is concerned about all of that, and Diane says, "You just gonna have to." She can make her own decisions. So then we see, speaking of Kyle, I don't even know if I was speaking of Kyle, but let's say I was. Speaking of Kyle, he is over here at the with Tucker and Audra, and he's first with Audra, and she's like, "Why should I believe you want to do this again?" He said, "Because I realized that my family will never give me the position that I want, so I'm all in." And so, but he and Audra have an understanding, like, they're not. I guess they just have an understanding that this is business now. It's nothing romantic, I guess, with them. It's all business. Because he said he doesn't trust her. She said, well, actually, I like that you don't trust me. That's good. So then we see, hold on. So then we see that Tucker comes up and they all sit down, and Kyle says, I want back in. And he says, why should we believe you? He said, I have a little piece of proof that, he's willing to go all the way. So he brings the recording in where Ashley was saying that she is using Tucker to try to get him a relationship with Devon so he'll leave Jabot alone and everything. And Tucker said, I already knew she was doing this. He said, now, but you hope that she wasn't. Now you know for sure. And Kyle is sitting there all smug, like he's really done something. I was like, that's not that deep. And Tucker told him it's not that deep. He said, well, I'm willing to betray my aunt to give you information that you need. And Tucker said, okay, then. He said, but because Kyle says, I'm back in the position of COO with my family, and because and he says, how do you know your dad isn't going to look deeper into this? He said, because he's trusting like that or whatever. And it was just the way Kyle was talking, and Tucker was like, you're really not about this life, but okay. And he told Tucker did tell Kyle, I know you. Remember that. And I said, yes, because Tucker knew already that you was going to come with all this. Now, what he didn't know is that you weren't going to tell your daddy. because he thinks Jack is a part of it too, but it's just Diane and Kyle. I said this got to blow up in their faces, but put this on. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it just because it would bring some kind of drama to this storyline. Because my gosh, it has really. I don't even know if they know what the ending of this is gonna be, but let's keep going. So then we see, no, Mila. So then we see they agree that Tucker's gonna they're gonna destroy the company, and Kyle was like destroy, and Audrey said that's too strong of a word, maybe we'll say cripple the company. And Kyle is like, I want a company to come back to, and he said we're not gonna do it that bad, but I need to be able to get the company, and right now it's financially solid, stable, so I wouldn't be able to get it, so you have to do something to it, and then y'all can swoop in and get it back on track whenever I take it over. And they were like, okay. And so, anyways, Kyle agrees to it. Tucker knows he's playing him, but he was like, okay, you can leave. So Kyle just tells Audra when Tucker leaves that he still don't trust her, and everything. He restates it, and she says that's fine. She says that's fine. He doesn't have to, and again she's glad that he doesn't, but she does want this company, and they're going to be running it. So hopefully it all works out, and he doesn't get cold feet again. And he tells her he won't. So then we see where Tucker is later on. He's at the athletic club, and he's trying to reach out to Devon, and say, Devon, do you want to meet for Thanksgiving or something? And he was texting him, and then Audra comes up and he tells her, "Oh, I never understood about Thanksgiving because they neither one of them has family they can go spend the day with." So he says, "You want to go upstairs?" And she was like, "No." He said, "Get your mind out of the gutter. I was talking about for a burger and a bourbon." And she was like, "Oh, yeah, I'll go." I like to, some people say, get rid of Tucker and Audra. But honest to goodness, Tucker and Audra are funny to me when they're together because she's like more serious, but every now and then she'll crack a joke. And he's funny to me. So I like them being on the show. But anyways, so they go upstairs and have a drink or whatever. They're gonna just spend Thanksgiving together. But y'all know Ashley coming over. So anyways, Kyle goes back home, and Diane is there, and um, she tells him Diane is getting ready. I mean, Ashley is getting ready upstairs to meet Tucker and Devon or whatever. And he tells her about, he's in with Tucker, and he feels like this is the best plan, and he's going to show his dad, and he's going to be there for the company. So he wants to be the savior, to take Tucker down. And so Jack comes out, and he's just like mother and son together. He's so happy to see it, and he's happy their family is all together. He wished Ashley wouldn't go meet with Tucker, but it is what it is. As long as she comes back and can have dinner with them, he'll be happy. And that's it with them, y'all. Mila, please. That's it with them, y'all. So then we go and we see Victoria. Victoria is trying to reach her mom on the phone, but she can't get a hold of her. And so then Claire speaks to Victoria, and I said, "What Claire doing here?" And she says, "I came back to get some work. I came back to get some work, and my Aunt Jordan called me and said that something happened to your mom. She had a seizure or something." So Victoria runs to Victor's office, and she tells him, and he's like, "What?" So then they meet up at the athletic club. So it's Victoria, Nick, Claire, and Victor, and they're waiting on the private jet. It's coming in about 30 minutes because they call him and tell him it's not going to be ready for 30 minutes. And Victor says, "Hurry up," or whatever. And Victoria, so they're all nervous, and they're saying, "Tell us what happened, Claire." And so she tells them that her Aunt Jordan says Nikki just, she said she felt funny, then her arm started twitching and moving, and she couldn't control them. So that her aunt thinks she has a seizure, and they said, "What if it's the MS bothering her?" So then they asked Claire what hospital, and she says, "Well, because Nick is like, because I said, didn't her aunt supposed to have messed up her hip or something?" And Nick says, "Didn't your aunt mess up her hip?" And I said, "I was wondering. I thought she had broke it, but okay." And she said, yeah, but a private doctor sees her because my aunt doesn't trust hospitals. And I didn't even think to ask her what hospital. Oh, I'm so sorry. And Victor said, no, 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 it's fine. Just get your aunt on the phone. So Jordan gets on the phone with Claire, and she says, Victor wants to speak to you. And then Jordan gets on, and she's like, oh, Mr. Newman, it's such a pleasure and all that. And he said, he's asking her about Nikki, and Jordan played this off good from the very beginning. She acted like she was having problems hearing him, or the connection was bad. So then she starts telling him everything about Nikki, and he says, she has MS, and she said, oh, the hospital figured that out, but she's gonna have to stay overnight. So this makes them still, have to come out for Nikki, right? So she says she's gonna have to be there overnight, and he's like, okay, but thank you so much for taking care of my wife. And she says, oh, it's not no problem at all. I'm happy to do it. And then Victor's like, what hospital? And she's like, oh, this phone. So she gets off the phone, and they never tell what hospital. But so that's fine though, because he's just like, we're gonna go out, and it's like, oh my gosh, we need to thank your Aunt Jordan for taking care of our mom, and Victor for his wife. And Claire says, I'm sure she would say no thanks are necessary or needed and everything. So then we see that they're going to hop on the private jet and fly out. So then we see that they're at now we go off to Nikki. So Nikki is back on the screen, and she is having a rough time because she's going through, she's hung over and everything, and she wants uh, and she has not been like this in years. And so she's like, oh, I haven't felt this bad. Okay, is it just me, or Nikki's voice is not matching I don't know, that voiceover of them making her think in her head, it's not connecting for me. Does that make sense? I don't know. Let's keep going. So, anyways, Nikki is there trying to figure out like how can she get out, and then she's trying to cover up the vodka that they left her. And she says you need to throw this away because you know what's gonna happen if you don't. So she goes to throw it away, and she can't do it. And y'all, she drank it. She ended up drinking it because she's had it in her system now, and she's an alcoholic. So she ends up drinking it and everything, and then she's so devastated she just lays on the bed. She's screaming out for Claire, but of course Claire isn't there. So the next thing we know, we see that Aunt Jordan is around, but a man comes and knocks at the door, and he's like, Nikki, Victoria. And I said, why is he asking for Nikki and Victoria? He was like, I got your message, Nikki, about Victoria. What's wrong? And then you look and you see it's Cole. And I said, well, what is going on here? What does Cole have to do with this? I don't know. Some of y'all, if you think you know, let me know what this gonna end up doing. But I will see you. That's all I have for you today. It was a good episode. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the final episode of the week of What Happened on the Soaps, the Young and the Restless edition. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.